what he provided for you today and no turnovers?
He provided, I mean, he kept the offense in rhythm. We wanted to be aggressive, and he certainly executed the plan. And, it helps. He got a lot of experience, and you could feel it. And we got into a lot of drives, and a lot of guys contributed. And I thought he did a phenomenal job today.
Could you speak to your defense and the 6 sacks that they had as they got after Gardner Minshew today?
It helps when you've got really smart players because, the opening drive, they converted the first 3rd and long. They got in a little no huddle. Then there was a DPI, and then they got the ball in there. And a couple of things tweaked in game. I thought those guys, Ryan and Jerry and Jack and the players started throwing different looks, made them hold an extra tick, give or take, and the guys played really well up front. And, same thing with situational football as a team. That's been a thing that's kind of stopped us a little bit, not handling into half. When you defer, the middle eight, however you want to look at it. And we were able to do that. We were able to get points right before. I mean, there was a minor clock issue, but we were going to run it timeout, so we had to kick off, which we didn't want, but we got what we needed, and then came back and got the touchdown. I mean, that's what you want when you talk about doubling possessions. That's a 10-point swing, and that's how you can win games if you can control those situations. And everybody was in tune in all 3 phases. It was a good team win.
And how big was this win for you in the bigger playoff and division title picture?
Well, we just, how the season goes, Led. I mean, it's just the focus was we needed to get that win. You want to be relevant late in the year. Obviously, it's good to win this time of year and be in it. And, we got to get ready. Obviously, tomorrow is Christmas and the other things around the holiday season, but we got to get back to work and get ready for Chicago.
It seemed like you guys were maybe a little bit more intent on throwing the ball early today. Was that by design with Taylor?
We've tried that too. It's just, it's whether getting, sometimes it's that first 3rd down, It's been our intent in a couple games that maybe not gone that way, but certainly when we were able to convert, stayed into the drive, stayed aggressive, and, we kind of mixed and matched throughout the game. I thought the guys did a great job, coaches and players all.
You've talked a lot about your offense throughout really the course of the year, and it seemed like maybe this was the most in flow it seemed like for most of the year.
Obviously you want to get touchdowns late, but you also want to play the situation. So the last 2 red zone drives, you say you got a little conservative, but you're making them use timeouts. You wanted to be aggressive, but I didn't want to. That's the stuff that as a coach you wish you had touchdowns there, but you're playing the long game there, and you don't pop a run. So, still able to get points, but that's something that we can continue to work on. But you're right, Mike. When we needed to play, guys made them, and it was different guys. I mean, the John play on the screen, 3rd and long, that keeps drives. That gets points on the board. There's so many little plays right there. They started bringing a lot of pressure. We make an adjustment. Say, hey, when this happens, we got to get outside. And it's the underrated things like Matt Collins and Kadero Hodge gets the play started. One of those, unfortunately, Jake went out. He could have come back in the game. We'll have more on Jake Matthews later, but he could have come back in. But those are the plays that help you win. And so there's a team effort. It'll always be a team gain, and proud I get to coach those guys.
And the last time you showed up without a mustache, you said it was like a 3 a.m. impulse
decision. That's one impulsive. I had to change momentum. Clean up, church myself up for the holidays. Like, should have a jacket like Led's got.
Is there any way to compare joy versus relief right now from your standpoint to get a win?
Jeff, I mean, that's a great question. And sometimes you're in the NFL, and you probably heard me say it. I know a lot of coaches that raised me. Sometimes, winning is a relief. But, what's been good is when you're in these, you see the response from the team. That's why you love this game. And it's kind of refreshing. Sometimes, Jeff, you go back and you kind of think of things. And you don't want to lose that joy. So I would say it's more joy. But certainly sometimes it can feel like relief, and you don't want to lose that perspective. And I think that's been a great thing, is that perspective. And there's certainly a lot of joy in that locker room. And for myself personally, for those players, it's not about me. It's about the players, the staff, and the organization, and the fans out here today. They were phenomenal.
And also, you have a lot of family here today at the game. What does that mean to you?
They show up, and they're huge Falcon supporters, and as there are a lot of people in the crowd. I mean, it's at least they didn't go the other way. So least they still showed up. It'd be a bad thing if your family stops texting or calling you and doesn't show up.
You said you could feel Taylor's experience out there today. Is that on the field during the plays or
Just
off the
everything.
field?
Just everything. I mean, there's a lot of reps. As we've talked about before, it's a tough position to play. Even the little things, like the subjectivity of, when you're in that situation before the half, all you're doing there is you're just trying to get time off there. I mean, you could take a shot, but nobody's going to give you that. You can throw a Hail Mary, but that's probably not, or you can get maybe 10 more yards, give or take. Nobody's going to heat you up right there. So you're just trying to end the half with the field goal. But him being aware, never realized the clock was set. But when the vet looks up, he knew it. That's what you want. And you just play the long game. And the only thing that was different, we had to kick off, and they went for the kneel. But just the presence of mind, just being in all those situations, understanding, hey, checkdowns are good here. Seeing what they're playing and coming back, like, you don't need to be greedy here. Those are a veteran thing. That's not a shot at any young player, but that's what helps.
Arthur, I think you only had 2 3-and-outs today. When you talk about building momentum on offense from drive to drive, how critical was that, especially early on, getting Taylor in a rhythm?
Yeah, it's any team I've been a part of. I mean, that's the key to offense is, a lot of times it's that first third down. It's funny how energy and momentum work. It's like cliche as that sounds, but it is true. You get in those drives, and it's the difference sometimes. You get stalled out on one, and then maybe they score, and it just may take forever to get the ball back, but it just keeps the energy up, and those guys did a good job today.
I know you said you felt a lot of joy, maybe a little bit of relief, but how much of this can help confidence just of the team moving forward in these final games trying to make this playoff push?
Yeah, I think you see the way these guys play every week, and I've had a ton of confidence all year. I had a ton of confidence going into this game, and just the way we worked all week, because you can feel it. Sometimes you feel the teams I've been on. Sometimes you can start to feel people look to the other side, or. But this team, I mean, you see the energy we had all week, and it's given me a lot of confidence all year.
About Jesse Bates and his new career high, 6th interception for him. He continues to just
Very
play
happy
great this
for
season.
him. You want to make sure when you add guys and guys that may not have been here to get that contract, that you got to have the right guys. There's always risk in every move you make. We're very confident. We had a lot of carryover. Steve Jackson, I'm with Cincinnati. A lot of people. Steve is one of the best, most honest people I've ever worked with. Doesn't people kind of pump people up, and then the scouting that goes into it, and it really is about fit and chemistry, about what you want to do schematically. Because if you don't have a plan for that, then you're not going to give them the best chance to be successful. And Jesse's come in here, and he's a terrific football player, clearly, and a great teammate, and just very fortunate we were able to get him.
Coach, it's week 16, and today is the first day that your defense has allowed a rushing touchdown to an opposing running back. What does that stat say about that unit?
Well, just play, they've been stout against the run, and sometimes if you're certain coverages, some teams get to check with me, so they pick the ball up more if you're showing lighter. And it's kind of become a common thing in the NFL, so that's the game you're playing. So sometimes you see teams that, depending on what we're playing, they try to check the pass. And so it's a combination of a lot of things. They bow it up, and we haven't given a lot of explosive runs all year. And been really good in the red zone. And then today, situational, like I said, the offense, defense, special teams all playing momentum off each other.
And then can you walk us through the decision to use that timeout after the spiking of the ball with 10 seconds left there at the end of the first
Because we
half?
were just going to run it, or we were going to run like a sprint out just to milk the clock. So that's what I'm saying. There was a miscommunication about the play being set. And that's why they were still in the huddle. And that's where Taylor had the awareness, and I'm asking to pump it, never set it, and I'm not criticizing, so I promise you I'm not trying to get fined. So this isn't a criticism, I'm just letting you know what happened. So the risk reward there, so why even have we certainly weren't going to take the 5-yard penalty. That's what happened. But we were just going to run it, or we had talked about doing the sprint out, we call it a long foul ball, just so we could kick the field goal and not have to kick off. That was all that was going on. And I got to do a better job not showing my frustration. Well, it'll be better now, I guess. But the kids are fired up, and be a joyful morning to spend with my kids. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you spoke about wanting to be relevant late in the season. You guys had already seen what happened with New Orleans on Thursday, and depending on what happens with Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, could be another three-way tie. What's it been like going through the NFC South this season?
Well, it's every year. I mean, you know what it looks like sometimes in Thanksgiving, and certainly changes in the middle of December. That's what makes this league so fun to be a fan of. I mean, it's the most competitive professional league in the world, in my opinion. So week to week, everything changes. So, you know, at the end of the day, when you get caught up in, you know, you obviously want to control your own destiny, and if you can't, obviously you need help. But then nothing matters if you don't take care of your own games. And so it was a step in the right direction, getting this win today. Thank you.
All right, Taylor, could you take us through, the game and a couple touchdowns, 5 field goals for the offense today?
Yeah, I thought we played a pretty clean game. That's what we're trying to do. Obviously, the story of the season so far has been, turnovers and self-inflicted wounds, and that was kind of our message this week. Hey, let's not beat ourselves. Let's make them go beat us. So I thought we played a really clean game. Try to get the ball in my hands quick, let those playmakers do their thing. Obviously, you want to kind of punch it in a little bit more when you get down there, but a win's a win, so we're happy with it.
The opening drive, you got a big run by Bijan and then the touchdown pass to Kyle. What did you see on that play?
Yeah, obviously Bijan having a big run, that's awesome, getting a lot of juice going, and then the play was we had a curl and then we had a little corner behind it, and I saw the kind of corner take that curl / out, and I saw a big area for Kyle in the end zone, so kind of just laid it out in the area, let him go get it. But that's how we want to start. We're going to come out and start fast, put some points on the board, and go from there. So from start to finish, I thought we played really well.
And complimentary football-wise, how big was it to get that field goal right before the half and then come out, get the fumble recovered, and then go on a touchdown drive there?
Yeah, it's huge. Again, Art talks about the middle 8 all the time, and you can win and lose games in that middle 8 right there at halftime. So again, going down there, getting those 3 points, and then coming out back on the second half and scoring a touchdown, it's huge for us. That's a 10-point swing, and it helps all phases of the game. Obviously I fumbled that first snap, wasn't a good feeling, but we rallied and got through it.
And the block, I think the play was shortly after that where you got a block for Bijan on that play and kind of got the sidelines going over there.
Yeah.
Trying to play some football there.
Yeah, I didn't really anticipate blocking today. But, I handed the ball off and kind of carried out my fake and saw he was reversing field. And so, I've said this before, every time I go out there, I kind of play like it's my last play, like it's my last game. Playing the NFL is a very special opportunity. And when you get your number called, it's special. So when I go out there, I leave it all in the field. And so it happened to be a corner right there. And I hope it looked better than it felt. Haven't seen it yet, but anything to get the guys going. A lot of juice. That was cool.
At this point in the season, with y'all's record coming in, this team felt like it might be getting a little tight coming down the stretch. You made a point of saying you're not going to play that way anymore in your career, regardless of the scenario. Do you think that helped this offense a little bit, that sort of we're just going to go wing it and see what happens?
Maybe. And again, I wouldn't say wing it. I know what you're trying to say. But there's a certain feeling you get when you just have that freedom. When you kind of just in your head just say, hey man, what's the worst that can happen? A loss. But if you're going to lose, why do it uptight? Go out there and just let it all on the field. Again, there's not a play where you want to look back and be like, I wish I did this or that. Just go out there and play. See what you see. React. This game's supposed to be fun. That's why we started playing it. So I think the guys had some juice coming out there today, and we played a good game.
Taylor, I didn't do my research yet. Have you ever started a game on Christmas Eve before? And then how did it feel to knowing that Christmas is tomorrow and you guys got to win?
Whew, yeah. The last 2 years I started on Christmas Eve, and they've been awful. 2 years ago we went to Dallas and got beat by like 40. Last year we went to San Fran and I got benched. So maybe third time's a charm. No, this is great. We can enjoy our holidays with a win. With the up and down season we've had. This is really special, so everyone's excited.
Taylor, congratulations. I apologize if this has already been asked, but was there anything that for you that felt different from the games against the Vikings and Cardinals that you started versus today?
No. I just think all 3 phases showed up today. We played really good complementary football. We were never really backed up other than that one. I think that's our second drive, and we got out of it. Obviously we didn't go down and score or anything, but we got, I think, to like the 30-yard line, and punted it and put them inside the 20, which is huge. That's things that we don't talk about. That's just huge. It's complementary football. So, the defense did a great job. Special teams did a good job, and then offense, we kept moving the ball. So, it was a true team game today.
So do you get specialty Jordans today, or?
Oh yeah, I'll be posting some Jordans on Instagram later tonight. I have to pick which ones I want. But I got to keep the tradition alive.
In all seriousness, was there something that you sensed that was maybe different for you today than the first 2 starts you had here?
You said something that Art said to me, or?
No, was there something that you sensed that was different today versus the first 2 starts that you played here? for yourself?
No, I feel like I have the same mindset going into those other two games. Go out there, have fun, play with passion. When you do that, I think that's when you play your best.
There are various odds makers or whatever, the New York Times, for instance, had said last week's loss dropped the Falcons' playoff chances to 8%. Now you guys might be in another three-way tie, depending on what happens with the last game today. Do you pay attention to that kind of thing? And what has it been like for you guys, in the locker room going through this crazy season in this division?
Well, the cool thing about this locker room is, if we were 12-4 or 4-12, I don't think it would change a thing. The guys in there love playing ball, and we approach work every day the same. Go out there, we work hard, and care about each other. So, I would also be lying to you if I told you we don't pay attention to it. Obviously, we do. But again, it's something that you kind of keep in the back of your head, but you just go out there and play. You can't pay too much attention to it. At the end of the day, if you go out there and win, everything else will take care of itself. So, our main focus is just doing our job and getting a win. I don't know if I can say this out loud, but, obviously we're rooting for the Jags. Hopefully they get the job done. And we'll go from there. But, we're just excited about this win, get back on Tuesday and get ready for Chicago.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.